A new feature is arriving in Rise of Cultures, the Museum. Here's what you need to know about it. The museum's interface will be accessible through the City Hall, which you'll notice now has a very different look to it. It now provides culture, giving you an incentive to place it more strategically throughout your city. When you enter the interface, you'll be displayed a screen listing the various artifacts you've collected. Another new addition with this update. Artifacts will serve as sort of collectibles you can obtain from participating in various features throughout the game. You'll notice the different categories an artifact can fall under. Each category will serve as a different way to obtain artifacts. The Rise of Civilization artifacts will be obtainable from the tech tree, different event chests, and from collecting incidents. The Legend of the High Seas artifacts will revolve around the treasure hunt. You'll have a chance of obtaining different artifacts after completing different treasure hunt nodes. The Treasures of the Nile artifacts will all be tied to Egypt. They can be obtained from completing different Egyptian quests and from incidents after unlocking Egypt. The Whispers of Jade and Echoes of the North will be very similar to this, just now tied to China and the Vikings. Discovering new artifacts boosts the culture output of your City Hall. The City Hall starts with a mere 10 culture bonus with a range of 1, but can easily be brought up with artifacts. The artifacts will come in different rarities, each with a corresponding power level. The common artifacts will have a power level of 10, the rares 25, and the legendaries come with a power level of 50. The artifact's power is then converted to culture for your City Hall. With the current artifacts available, the City Hall can reach a maximum of 660 culture with a range of 4. However, based on Inno's official statement, they do plan on releasing more artifacts over time, so this number will only grow as more artifacts are added. In terms of the chances to actually discover an artifact, well, that's an entirely different story. Certain artifacts, specifically the common rarities, all players will get by simply progressing through the game, hence completing mandatory story quests. If you've already completed these story quests, then you'll already have access to the artifacts in your museum with the launch of the feature. Other artifacts, specifically the rarer ones, will be much more challenging to get, with some having less than a 1% chance of being discovered. In their official statement, Inno said this was done intentionally. They didn't want artifacts to be super easy to obtain. Rather, they wanted them to serve as a long-term goal players can slowly work towards. And this makes sense, right? Any collector will tell you that in order for your collection to actually hold worth, it needs to be somewhat difficult to obtain. Therefore, Inno didn't want a feature that veteran players would be able to complete in a matter of days. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been a very good feature to begin with. In regards to my thoughts on the feature, I really like it. I think it's a fairly harmless addition as it won't impact players' gameplay all that much. I also like that artifacts will be obtained in addition to other rewards you receive, not as replacements for them. So if you're opening an event chest, for example, the artifact would be rewarded in addition to the normal reward, not as a replacement for it. I think this is smart. If you're playing an event, you wouldn't want your chances of obtaining that day's daily special to be skewed by an artifact. If that were to be the case, it would have resulted in massive backlash from the player base, so it's nice to see it was taken into consideration. My only complaint towards the feature is that it would have been nice to see more artifacts providing a variety of boosts for your city. Currently, artifacts only provide culture, nothing else. It would have been nice to see more artifacts providing some different rewards. Say maybe a coin or food production boost, or maybe some various army bonuses or daily research points. You could make an argument that this would result in World Wonders beginning to be power crept, but I'd argue you could negate this by making the boosts much smaller and making artifacts that do provide these boosts much rarer. Of course, this is still a possibility with the addition of more artifacts over time, but we'll just have to wait and see what direction InnoGames decides to take. But that just about covers everything we currently know. Overall, I think the feature has a lot of potential. As it currently stands, it serves as a good foundation for new improvements to slowly be added, such as the ability to level existing artifacts to increase their output, or as we talked about before, implementing new artifacts that provide different boosts. Until then, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, I'll see you all next time.